This week on Fade to Obsidian, we are talking chapters 11 to 15 of Lightbringer. So please make sure you have read to this point. Violence and death, as always, are discussed. We also use strong language. And honestly, this is just such a chill episode. Enjoy.
Yeah, hello everybody, and
Hi.
welcome to a very, very special episode of Fade to Obsidian. I know we say every episode's special, but this one truly is.
Because
I can make sure that Skipper stops talking before I need to go to the bathroom. So
rude.
I am Crescent, as always, joined by Skipper.
Hello!
In person.
In person!
And we have very special guest, Charon. I almost called you your government name, but that's not
No
allowed.
government names!
Howler names are the only ones that exist.
We might fuck that up.
Yeah, they have been friends for a very long time.
It's been 15 years,
Yeah.
16 years.
Something like that.
Yeah.
This is also Bentley and Aspen.
Yeah, you
Ghost dogs are real.
Yeah, they are in fact real. We're also much cozier than usual today, so...
Yeah, there's less than
You're
2,000
welcome.
kilometers between you two, so...
Yeah.
Look at us
There's
go.
less than 2 meters.
Yeah.
Orders of magnitude.
Yeah.
It's great. Yeah, so this week we're talking chapters 11 through 15 of Lightbringer.
Yeah.
And we have at least one chapter of every point of view,
Every point
which
of
is
view.
fantastic.
And they're in order. Nobody jumps back and forth. Like, so Lyria
Yeah.
gets 2 chapters, but they are back to back.
Yeah.
So we will actually...
And I actually thought they were one chapter before...
Yeah, you
doing
were
that.
like, this is
Listen.
a really
Yeah.
long chapter. But no, it's not.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean,
well,
they are long chapters, but
Yeah.
it's just not
What
that
happens?
long.
Yeah. I have to ask my usual question. Who are you? And what are we drinking?
I am Charon the Boatman, named by Scarlet, so thank you.
Ooh.
And we are drinking in light of the chapter 12,
Yeah.
a Truffle Pig. So it
Ooh.
is a Bacon Caesar red drink. Gotta fit that.
Yep.
And then it has truffle salt as part of the rimmer.
Oh.
Yeah, so you gotta make sure you get that in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
I love it.
Yeah, so
Cheers.
Charon
Cheers.
was a bartender for many years.
And just an alcoholic for the last little bit.
Yeah, it's fine. Welcome to our life.
Yeah.
Very good. Thank you.
It's nice to not be the one making drinks right now.
Yeah, we did our
Yeah, you gotta
10-hour... Oh, I have to...
lick the rim and then take a sip, which is apparently the traditional way to have a Caesar.
Really?
I didn't know that.
Which is...
Interesting.
It does
Also,
make sense.
For everyone who's not Canadian, try a
Yeah.
Caesar. Because
Yeah.
they all have Bloody Marys.
Yeah, but it's way better than Bloody Mary. If you have fish sauce, like used in like Asian cuisine, put that in your Bloody Mary and it gets you kind of close.
It's clamato juice.
Yeah.
Yep.
Clam and tomato.
But they don't have clamato.
No, that's true.
Yeah.
It's depressing.
Oh my god. That's good.
I haven't had any of the bacon yet. Yeah, yesterday we did our 10
10 hours of
hours
live stream.
live streaming for the Patreon. So join the Patreon. You can see the videos.
There was a lot of really good moments.
Yeah.
Especially when I realized we hadn't been recording audio for 4 hours.
So the last 6 hours you get to rewatch.
Yeah.
There's 1 hour where we just pretty much recap for the last what happened, but
Yeah.
yeah, that was a good one. But one of the highlights is that Tower, one of Crescent's other real life friends, showed up and had made us these beautiful
They're even
logos.
engraved with our names on the back. Mine says Crescent, obviously.
Mine says-
Skipper says Skipper. Hail,
Hail
Steve.
Ugh. Hail Goose Bucket.
Fucking goose bucket.
No goose
can't-
buckets in this
You
house.
can't argue against a real life peach with that booty. That's just...
What do you
There's
mean
the-
real life? It's
It's a real life peach.
worry about you. But through that we had 10 different, I think we had 9 different drinks.
Yeah, 9 cocktails, because the mimosa, I I was feeling too hard, or feeling too rough to
Push that.
to make another one. So we drank that one for an hour and a half.
And then the Long Island
And
iced
Long
tea
Island
as
iced tea
well.
was huge.
So we did that. We answered questions. We had some really good questions.
Yes, we did.
Some very interesting questions. I worry about some of you.
Yep. We played Red Rising Guess Who,
That is the
which
best.
was amazing.
Yeah. It was a lot of fun. But yeah, Crescent made all the cocktails yesterday.
Yep.
So.
And then we had a mini cocktail party listening to the chapters today.
Yeah.
That was nice. We each made one.
Yeah. I made the simplest one of a White Russian.
That's okay.
It's fine.
It was
Mine
still
didn't
good.
even have a name, so it doesn't even count as a cocktail.
You
That's
could give it a
true.
name.
I could give it a name. It'd probably be something stupid like
Purple People
Magic.
Eater. Purple People Eater.
Honestly, that would be the one I would make for Soraya if we were still playing that campaign. That was my first D&D character.
But yeah, so we hung out all afternoon listening. It took us 3 hours, I think, to get through these 5 chapters.
Yeah, 3.5 even.
And it was difficult because we kept stopping to discuss in the moment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We probably should have been just recording.
I was thinking
all of
about
it,
that
but
after, and then we could.
This would have been just a really long episode. That's fine.
Yeah, but these are meaty chapters.
Yeah, a lot happens.
So we got.
Yes.
We're kicking it off with.
We met. Yeah, just going in order.
We're gonna. Yeah, well, I'm just.
Unfortunately, we have to end on Lysander. That means, but
Yeah.
Hey.
But we kick it off with
Sanders
Daryl.
got some good stuff going on.
All right, well.
I
You
know,
can make
I'm gonna
that
get
pitch
murdered.
later. You can
But-
make that pitch later.
like getting his kidneys punched.
I mean, that does happen.
Yeah, I know it does.
But yeah, I mean, yeah, we get Darrow and relationship-wise, Darrow and Severo. Severo and Fitchner, I would argue, is in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Darrow, Severo, Cassius.
Yeah.
The three-way. Wink.
Then Lyria. In all of her
Lyria and her
A
rangers.
little bit of Mateo.
Mateo Quicksilver a little bit.
Yeah.
We don't see Quicksilver, but
very
we
little
hear.
Bit, but there's some.
And then Virginia or Mustang with Pax
And Cavix.
And Cavix.
Oh, Cavix.
I love Cavix.
My sweet baby boy.
Yeah, and her also, I think, talking about Daryl a bit in there. Well, we commented that in this, it's kind of the heartbreaking that you get the comments about Ulysses,
Yep.
that Severo doesn't know he's dead. But then you have to talk also about, we'll talk about Cavix has lost Pax and Daxo.
Yep.
They talk about Orion, and it's not clear whether or not how much Mustang knows. Because
Yeah.
they just kind of mention that.
They
And
know
then-
she's
Her name is
gone,
mentioned,
but
but
they don't
Yeah.
seem to know
yeah.
how, which is the...
Yeah. Fitchner is a heartbreaking. There's a lot of heartbreak on this one.
It's a Pierce set of
Yeah.
chapters, so
Yeah.
that tracks.
And then we get into Lysander, and he's found himself back in shit again. As Atalante is kicking around.
Yes.
You gotta at least admit, in this set, he's the one you're rooting for in his chapters.
Somehow, yes.
Yeah.
You are correct.
Yeah.
You are correct on that one.
Yeah, he's
He's a shit
he's
person.
technically the lesser of several evils.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's dive in with Darrow and Severo.
So yeah, first off, they're eating in silence. They talk about how they can't talk, but they can't be far apart. Like
Yes.
it can't be more
Yeah.
than one room away on the ship, and like they can't help but touch each other, which I'm sure there's some ships out there.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
Guaranteed
100%. AO3 has
Number
got
one
that
fan
one going.
fiction,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yep.
I'm sure.
Yeah. And they're making small talk of I like to try the ham.
I
Yeah.
love that Darrow thinks that whole line of inquiry and discussion was just leading up to Severo making a joke about the Minotaur gutting him like a pig.
Yeah.
Like, that's peak humor.
There's a lot of pig references in this. I'm not.
Mm-hmm.
So we get
Yeah.
that. So Truffle Pig, which
Truffle
we've already
Pig.
put. But also how Min Min and the rest smelled like bacon when they
Yeah.
cooked. Like, there's a lot of
Yeah,
pork
That
references.
is odd.
Yeah. It's unsettling. Everyone finished their bacon first, right? No. Have a bite. Yeah, I don't know. It's a very hard, this part, because you want Darrow and Severo to be okay. And that's how Severo ends it, of like, I love you, but we're not good.
Yeah. And, like, that's super fair.
Oh, yeah.
Like, even though Darrow doesn't blame him for going back to Luna, like, Severo blames Darrow for taking him.
Yeah.
And blames him for not coming back with him.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Like,
But, like, I don't know, man. If they had all gone back, it'd be a very different series at this point. Like,
oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're like the repercussions were just like massively different.
yeah, definitely. You
There's-
have
yeah.
no free legions.
Yeah, no kidding.
So that's, I mean, right there. That's the...
Yep. Yeah. Huge.
Um,
But yeah, you get... I don't even know where to start with this one, because it's so big. Because
at the tip. Yeah, so
Goddamn aggressive.
you guys have met me, right?
A couple times.
I think let's talk Severo and like Ori and the
Yes.
and the
cube.
daughters of Ares.
Yeah, so we get the reveal of
Athena.
Athena.
Yeah,
who
there's another faction. Yeah.
I absolutely love that she's Scottish. So we get this, that, like, when TGR does it, the accent is Scottish, because the Reds we've known so far have been Irish descent, and
Right.
this, like, brilliant kind of twist that it's the Scots.
Yeah,
The rim
I think
does it
this-
slightly
yeah, I
different.
think
Exactly,
the rim is
it's the rim have the
Reds
Scots.
are Scottish, yeah,
Which
Or
is just
Scottish.
very cool to me, that little undertone that they put in the audiobook. I don't think that's anything would ever be mentioned in the book, but...
This is probably overreading into it, but the Irish were the ones to rebel against the English first, no?
Both would be doing some at the same time. The Scots gave in first, though.
Yeah.
Parallel to Darrow selling them out.
Kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and the Irish got out under English control first.
Yeah.
Half of Ireland, technically, half is still under their control.
Well, which is kind of same for the core.
Yeah! In comparison to the Scots right now are having their votes of independence.
Yeah.
Yeah, very cool parallels on how that worked and how those
That
those
is
people,
interesting.
I could get real deep into it, but I
Should ask Pierce if
won't
that's a
for now.
reference.
I bet you it is. He's Scottish by blood. He's not Irish. He's Scottish by blood. So I'm sure he knows the Scottish stories and the rebellions and all of that. That I'm sure it is. And that mentality of like, okay, so the Irish are the Reds because they volunteered and they were these laborers that went out.
And Europe was an irradiated wasteland.
Yeah, so then Scotland's also going to be an irradiated
Yep.
wasteland, and at the very core of those two groups, they're both Celts.
Yeah.
That you would have very similar vibes and feelings. So if the Irish went to Mars, it wouldn't be totally out of the question that maybe the Scottish got sent to
Yeah.
wherever
further
else.
out.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because
colonize
like
the
I
rest
mean,
of
right
it.
now we know Europa has water. There is
Yep.
frozen water found on Europa, so it makes sense that they would go, okay, well, if Mars is an option, Europa's an
Europa's too.
option, so maybe
Yeah.
it's the Scots
Yeah,
got
it's
sent
a
out as
lot
well.
easier to terraform something with frozen water into a giant sea planet.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I just really like that. The listening to it was a little extra twist on that red thing. But yes, we get Athena. You get to learn what's been happening the last little bit.
Yeah, since Darrow sold him out.
Yeah.
Which
Yeah, they're not happy.
No.
and no one should be surprised.
Yeah, like.
Yeah, if anyone was surprised by that, I mean, I feel like that's on them.
Yeah.
Yeah, seriously.
But
Like, you can say what you want about, like, it leading to 10 years in the core of the Republic actually getting off the ground and, like, all that kind of stuff, but you still fucked some people over.
oh yeah, like there was
hardcore.
plenty of people who died horribly
Yeah.
in an interrogation room, basically,
Yeah.
just due to the actions of one man.
Yeah.
And like Darrow even says, like, you know, I always feared that I would face the consequences of my actions, and it certainly appears like that is going to end up coming true.
Yeah.
Though Ori says she forgives him, like, that says something. Like, it's not like the entire Rim is just like, this guy is irredeemable trash.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Yeah, it's an interesting. But we get that, but then I think that's kind of almost downplayed by the fact that, or like, Athena's actually talking to Severo. And it's this message to Severo, and that's then backed of, you get this beautiful video of Fitchner with baby Severo sitting with him.
Severoception.
The Goblin!
Yeah.
He is the first, well, not the first reference in the series, but the first
Chronologically.
probably, in life of Severo being
Unless-
the Goblin of you bit me like you were a little goblin.
Unless you want to look in the
Sons of
Ares,
Ares?
because he definitely calls him Goblin in the Sons of Ares.
Oh!
And I believe it's before Bryn dies. So,
Okay. Yeah, so Goblin is an ongoing.
but yeah, it's not it's very canonically not just made up on the spot
No.
at the Institute. Like he
which
was
is, like his
like
for his kid.
like he would
Yeah,
want people to think, right? Like,
exactly. But yeah, he's little Severo sleeping next to him and gets to see. And Fitchner's, it's so cute of, like, well, like, bittersweet of him saying, like, if I'm sending this, I know I'm gone. Like,
Ooh, sorry, you made me think of the Institute. So, he calls him Goblin, and everyone else thinks it's a slight against him, but they know it's a like a pet name.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
a term of endearment.
Yeah, like a term of endearment. Like, that's really nice.
yeah,
That is
Goblin
really
in
sweet.
general
Yeah,
is actually his
because it is
term
later,
of,
but like at the time you don't think of that. But
yeah. But yeah, it's actually their term of endearment for him.
Yeah, that is really sweet.
Yeah. Little Goblin.
Yeah, we also find out that Severo's lost even more weight.
Yeah,
Like-
which, like, how?
Yeah. Though, I guess, I always picture Severo and Fitchner looking, like, very similar, and it does talk about, like, Fitchner's got a belly paunch, like, so...
yeah, but Fitcher's also
Older.
pure gold as well.
True.
So like,
Yeah, you're gonna get some of that red, like...
yeah,
red
so like he's gonna be way
wiriness.
Yeah.
slighter, way shorter just from that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. But yeah, you get... and then Severo at the end of this doesn't even still want to believe it.
Oh, yeah, no, he
He's
doesn't...
like, it's a trap, and it's Darrow being like, no, which is when we find out where the path to the veil comes from. Because Fitchner says they have your mom's book. So
Yeah.
it is Bryn's book.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, like, basically her manifesto.
Oh,
Well,
I
it's
read
been
that as being like her copy, like that
It is. It's her copy
Yeah,
of
but
her
it's-
people's...
but it's her. Okay,
It's
interesting.
her book. Like, it's her copy
Okay,
of
no,
her
I-
people's
Yeah.
book.
Yeah,
like,
their oral history.
right.
Yes. But that's where it's coming from, rather than previous to that, we're like, what the hell is this book?
Yeah.
And it's... That's why Bryn touched it at some point, basically.
Yeah.
But yeah, which is I think then why Darrow is like, no, this has got to be real, and
Yeah,
Severo's
like,
this is a fucking trap. Like, no, I'm not doing it. Yeah.
Here's hoping Severo comes around.
Yeah.
No guarantees.
No
We'll
guarantees.
just have to wait and see.
But yeah, and then the follow-ups is it before or after that Cassius is talking to them and Severus throwing everything in Cassius's face about Lysander and raising Lysander.
That's definitely before.
It's before.
I think, kind of, Ori kind of goes like, you need to see this now.
But then after is when Cassius talks to Darrow.
Darrow, because he's been listening in on the intercoms.
Yeah.
And throws down a pretty ridiculous monologue about the shitty things that he's done.
Yeah.
I mean, hey, he's owning it, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Like,
I'm not saying he hasn't done them. Like, he's
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, we kind of all of their relationship together, all three of them.
Yeah, like, and Darrow tells Cassius, like, stop hiding.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, sure, you fucking killed Fitchner. You can't take that back, but it's been 11 or 12 years. Like, if you don't step up and talk to him, he's just gonna push you around.
Yeah.
Which is something Severo absolutely would do.
Oh, for sure. I also like, though, what's the line of, like, Cassius says something to Darrow about how picky he is with friends. And Darrow's response of, am I your only friend?
Yeah. If you guys have watched some of our Dark Age episodes, we talk about how, somebody said, is Cassius Darrow's best friend? And Skipper and I said immediately, no. Darrow is Cassius's best friend.
Yeah, because exactly.
This is that. 100%.
This is where we would have, because at that point we would have read Lightbringer and been doing the Dark Age ones.
That
hiding it.
Definitely came through.
Across.
Not intentionally necessarily, but definitely
even then,
accurate.
Like, they've been best friends for, 14 years? Darrow and Severo.
Yeah.
And Cassius and Darrow were close for 4 months 14 years ago.
Yeah, exactly.
And then Darrow got stabbed in the guts.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
and then they shook hands on a landing pad outside of the Citadel of Light on Luna, as he takes Lysander away.
So we were talking about this, I think you were inside, when we were doing our listen through. How different of a series would it have been, like the last series, if Lysander and Cassius had stayed?
Oh, yes.
And then Lysander got raised alongside Pax.
Yeah, no,
I think it'd be pretty fucking hard to be, I guess, colorist or whatever you want to call it. Like,
Space racist.
Space racist.
Thank you, Howler Pod.
Hierarchy of the one true color.
Yeah.
It'd be way harder to be that if you grew up alongside Pax, who's fucking brilliant.
Yeah.
Although I guess he's probably technically gold, but...
Yeah, genetically definitely 100% gold.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he is also a product of his grandmother, who is definitely genetically red.
Yeah.
And, his father's red heritage in general.
Yeah.
Like,
okay, so that's an interesting thing. We just said that Severo's going to be shorter and slighter because of his red genetics, but we're saying that Pax
is fully genetically gold because
Darrow
had to be
gold at
unimpeachably red or gold. Sorry.
Okay, never mind. That makes sense. Never mind. I forgot that Darrow in my head, Darrow at the time was a red. It's like no, he was a gold at the time. Never mind. Yeah, for sure. But I don't think if Lysander had have stuck around them, and how much he loves Virginia.
Oh
yeah.
Like he
and
deeply respects,
like,
and he says that during not necessarily during these chapters, but I think the previous ones. At some point in the beginning of these books, he talks about how she is the one that like everything she says he wants to listen to. I think if he's being raised by her,
Yeah, honestly.
Those values are gonna transfer.
They're gonna trade because of like, oh yes, I take that true to heart, rather than him being
Yeah.
removed from her. I think he probably still thinks that she's right, but it's different.
Yeah.
Clear, like,
Although his idea of the Golds as shepherds, I suppose, isn't necessarily evil, but
Yeah, like wanting gold to shepherd humanity is good and all, but like, you know,
How it plays
there's
through.
several orders of magnitude of pieces of shit past that.
yeah,
Like,
yeah. He's not the apex asshole.
no, that's true.
No.
That title's taken.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do I think? There's just so much in this, and then
We also we also find out that Darrow's gonna start learning a new razor form.
yeah,
Oh.
Yeah, so we talked about how the Willow Way has been basically this cheat code for Darrow
Yeah.
to just like fuck everybody up, and how it was so good for Lorne for so many years, and Aja was so good at it.
yeah,
But now Darrow just got his ass beat by the Minotaur, even though, you know, he was using the Willow Way, and we kind of sussed out that it was, you know, the technological arms race of now, and the, you know, right around World War II, is very similar to like the increase in martial proficiency
yeah.
of the Golds in general since the Solar War started.
For sure.
Steel sharpens steel.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Because, you know, previous to Darrow, they're learning the Willow's Way or whatever just for duels, just in case
Yeah.
they've got
Well,
an epic gala that they need to weirdly fight at. You're not actually using it in a full combat.
Well, and that's the
mode.
thing too, is like Lorne wasn't teaching anyone the Willow Way.
No, that's the other thing.
They
It's
were just
Darrow and
learning
Asha.
how to duel. Like everyone else was just learning how to
Yeah.
duel, and then
But then now it was Alexander and Darrow who were using the Willow Way against them for 10 years. Well,
Yeah, well,
Alexander for probably like 2.
but then also Aja taught some to Cassius before dying.
Yeah.
And then
Cassius
Cassius was
was taught
teaching it to
Lysander.
Lysander.
Right.
And
So-
I think, I mean, they've got the holo cubes. They've got everything that they
Yeah.
keep watching that I'm sure other people can, like, it's like us in YouTube. We
Yeah.
just sit here and we're like,
they're
I can learn
they're
that.
sitting on the HoloNet.
Yeah.
HowlerHolo.net. Hit it up for merch. Just watching holos of Lorne from back in the day, and they're like, oh yeah, Willow Way tutorials.
So when he does that,
Exactly.
do this.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, slow yourself. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Oh, dig the roots.
Fuck yeah. I get it.
I get it now.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So then, I mean, they get to go back into practice and
Yeah. Darrow's still beat to shit from the Minotaur.
yeah, well, it ends with him looking at his hands,
Yeah,
being like,
he looks at
kidding me?
the wounds and winces. He's like, oh no.
I don't want to.
But we know what the Reaper does when he's not wanting to train. He trains.
Does it, yeah.
Yeah.
we literally found that out in the last set of episodes.
Yeah.
Or the last set of chapters.
Darrow pretty much
Or the
embodies
first set of chapters, sorry.
that, you know, that expression to not procrastinate, eat the worm.
Yeah.
Darrow does that every
He
fucking
finishes
time.
the bucket.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. He doesn't eat the worm, he finishes the bucket. That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's
I think that's pretty much it
that's
for Darrow.
pretty much all
Yeah.
for that chapter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, I mean, that's a meaty
It's
Yeah.
a very meaty
Like-
Yeah.
chapter. There's just a lot of relationships, as if we're
Uh-huh.
On a
on a
spaceship.
ship.
Yes. Shipception.
Ships and ships. I'm here for the spaceships, not the relationships.
I'm here for a blank shirt today.
Yeah. Ah.
Yeah, I forgot to put on Howler merch before I started recording.
Fail. He was making a turkey
okay.
instead.
Yeah,
That's
because
fair.
Thanksgiving was last weekend, and I told Skipper I was going to make turkey.
Turkey for this
Oh
one.
yeah, Thanksgiving was last weekend here.
Yes.
Yeah. So I think that's it for Darrow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so now we go onwards to Truffle Pig.
I
Do
think
you
I'm
want to
gonna-
make another?
That's
Yes.
what I was gonna say.
Okay. Cheers to Truffle Pig.
Cheers.
All right. Ooh,
Oh, well,
oh yeah, definitely
I
more
can
kick.
get right in there now.
Yeah.
More of a kick.
Charon and I are very cozy.
Super cute.
Perfect.
Ghost Dog is being a paperweight, so.
Yeah. The best way to blanket. But yeah, we find Lyria is
In hard vacuum.
yeah.
Searching for the place to take the parasite.
Yes. So the parasite we think is leading her somewhere.
And has been searching for a fucking while.
Yeah, it's been several months.
Yeah.
But we kind of got the idea that the parasite was pulling her somewhere. Before Dark Age was even over.
Yep.
She talks about having a longing to go home.
This is less comfortable than I thought it would be.
Having a desire to go home to somewhere she'd never been.
Yeah.
So that makes sense.
Yeah.
But we find out that's very not accurate.
No, they've just been kind of going everywhere, and that's now so she has the call sign of Truffle Pig, but then they're like, you're not even like good at it.
Yeah.
Like at
Yeah,
least
you're a
Truffle Pig's
broken Truffle
fine.
Pig.
Yeah.
She gets pretty sassy about it too. She's like, sorry for not making this alien technology in my brain into the perfect compass.
Yeah.
I feel you.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they're shitting on her a little bit, but I mean,
Oh yeah.
partially
you
fairness.
can't skip the shit test is what they say. You can
Yeah.
skip the school, but you can't skip the shit test.
So, and then they're coming in, so we're coming in on, asteroid 400 or something that they've looked at.
Yeah.
And it's the right one.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, like,
They don't make us come for the first 399
No.
or whatever.
hey, well, I mean, Abed makes a very good point in season 3, episode 7 of Community.
Fuck
We
off.
might have watched it
We
today.
definitely did watch it today.
He could have done that without that, though.
That's also true.
What did he
But-
say? Verbatim.
Coming. It wouldn't make sense to come in right as the broadcast is coming through. You gotta play it up for the story, but that doesn't really work.
That
So-
doesn't really work on a book that is already in 2 books instead
Yeah,
of
it's
one.
already a 600 page. This one that we have, never
This-
mind the fact that it got divided.
It's almost 700, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's like 692 or something, or 652.
Yeah, so they're trying to cut it down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, yeah, like, and that wouldn't make for an interesting
No.
chapter.
No.
Just having fruitless searches for ever.
And they did
Like-
make you get to know her crew members a little bit.
Yeah.
Before
violently
ripping them away.
murdering them.
Yeah.
Yes, they definitely do, but we do get the line that Salem absolutely loves if you don't get to choose your call sign, because she refuses not answering to Truffle Pig anymore.
Yeah.
But you are.
You don't need to answer, but we ain't calling you anything else.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, we get kind of their mixing, and she does want to learn from them. Like, we learn.
Oh yeah, like she's got no problems with being part of the crew and all that, and like she's improving, and it seems like quite well to being part of the squad.
Yeah, like they're
It's
giving
just-
her a hard time, but it seems like, yeah,
Yeah.
It's just a shit test. It's not like, you're
we actively hate you.
fucking dog shit. Like,
Yeah.
So
Yeah. But yeah, and then as you say, they are ripped away from her. Her arm is ripped away from her.
yeah,
Well,
well,
by
no,
the Dust Walkers.
yeah,
And
she loses a hand.
Yeah.
Pierce and hands add one more to the tally.
Yeah. And
Um,
this one he can't even blame on the whole, like, well, in a razor fight, that's what's sticking out. Like,
Yeah.
she's not in a razor fight.
She just got
well,
shot in.
she's on one end of a razor fight,
I suppose.
just the wrong end.
Yeah. But yeah, the Dustwalkers have showed up. But then we do...
We find out that there's spacesuits for people that have artificial limbs, and they're not full-size spacesuits. They just go down to where the limb ends.
I mean, save some material.
Well, yeah, because Fell has all bionic limbs,
Yeah.
and he's basically wearing a space vest.
Yeah. Which is kind of funny, because, like, wouldn't it be more expensive to try and seal that?
Oh,
Than it
yeah.
would be
Think,
just to go
right?
all the way down?
Yeah.
But maybe it's just
Just like shower
maybe it's
cap
just
material, that's good enough.
maybe it's just sealing to the edge of the prosthesis.
Yeah.
Maybe prostheses are made with some sort of a surface that can easily be
It makes sense.
sealed.
Yeah, or they've got like some sort of coupling mechanism.
Yeah.
Especially for somebody who would be going out into hard vacuum and needing.
Yeah, routinely. I mean, he already has, 8 fingers?
Mm-hmm.
So, like...
8 fingers per hand.
Yeah.
Yeah. The envy of any helldiver. Though I wonder if Darrow would actually want more fingers.
I feel like at this point he could have asked for them.
Yeah, for sure.
If he wanted more fingers, he'd have
More fingers.
Mustang wanted him to have more fingers. He'd have more fingers.
Yep.
Helldivers are dexterous.
Yep.
Probably feels like he's got 8.
Oh no! Wrong tube, spicy.
Oh no.
Good.
You're good. Yeah. But Fell gets ripped away, which is later confirmed. Because Lyria specifically asks if he's actually gone.
And then...
Oh, we get the super creepy robot orb voice.
Oh my god, yes.
Oh.
So that's where we were having the discussion, and it's kind of a big thing of... I think people are disappointed that Lyria wants it out. And at this point, we don't know whether or not she gets it out. But she wants it out. And people are like, well...
Why?
Like, why? And all the work up in Dark Age. And I think it speaks to Lyria's personality.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That... she wants to be herself. She doesn't like this. But then,
Yeah.
like, this creepy orb voice.
But at the
Like,
same
do
time,
you really
she wants
want...
to be able to make a difference.
Mm-hmm. That is true.
And she knows that this is the easy way to be able to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she's just not willing to compromise herself.
Her personality, yeah.
Yeah, she's not willing to compromise herself just to get a leg
Yeah.
up.
But yeah, and then the creepy orb voice would, for me, seal it of I don't want to just be a vessel
Yeah.
for this thing.
Your injured sister, but not talking to Lyria.
Yeah.
Like, you're missing a hand, but I don't give a fuck about you.
Yeah.
You are injured, but that doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Yeah, TGR. Fuck, does he nail that voice?
He nails every
Like
voice.
it's well, you're not wrong, but
Yeah.
I like his Lyria chapters better than I liked the previous Lyria reader.
oh yeah,
I didn't mind her, the Dark Age one anyway.
Mm-hmm.
But TGR does a really good job of Lyria. He's
Yeah.
just so good at that,
Yeah,
that style
he's-
of accents, for sure.
he's really really good at like Western European
Yeah.
accents. Which I mean, I
He
imagine
is Irish.
He is Irish.
He is Irish.
I feel like he
um,
varies his pacing as well based on who's talking.
Oh, absolutely, he
Like-
does.
like, 'cause Darrow's,
the
like-
difference between Fell and Lyria even
Yeah.
is massive.
Um,
And like Fell is a rim red,
Yeah.
so he's got that Scottish accent as well. But they talk about how the rim reds, like, they stretch their vowels like taffy,
Yeah.
and he nails it.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
One thing I've mentioned outside while we were doing our listen through before this. when you hear TGR do.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
When you hear
Tim
TGR.
Gerard Reynolds.
Yes.
Yep.
When you hear him do Darrow and Lyria back to back, you kind of notice that Pierce changes how he writes characters, like and how their internal monologue is in terms of vocabulary.
Oh yeah.
Because those two actually have kind of similar pacing, I find. Like their chapters are like kind of shorter, to the point, more succinct, and then we go to Lysander chapters, they're way more flowery.
Oh yeah.
Yep. Yeah, well, and that like comes back to we've talked before. Is like Lysander notices like the details of people. Darrow notices like how they move. And that I think is very similar. Where it's like he's definitely writing each character specifically in a different way.
Yeah, good touch.
So.
Yeah. Yep. And then
pretty much it for Truffle.
Yeah, that's pretty much it for Truffle Pig. They find the asteroid. They get ambushed on the asteroid and creepy robot.
And then we find chapter 13.
Mateo.
Yeah, the Rose's Game.
Quick's secret lair.
Yes.
Inside of an asteroid.
Yeah.
That one was definitely spicier.
Yeah. Do you want milk?
Oh, the Caesar. I thought you meant the chapter. I'm like, yeah, it was spicier.
No Caesar.
Was that too hot?
Anything is too hot for me.
Oh,
That's correct.
It's okay. I'll make myself a White Russian after this. That's why we were drinking White Russians earlier, because of milk.
I do like milk. I love
right?
milk. I even have a milk nickname.
Well, now you have to share.
Oh, it's Beatrice. Named after a baby cow.
Oh.
No. Baby cows are named Dorabelle. Tower knows this.
All of them?
I heard this story, and
cow?
we're not... Yeah. You gotta squish it over this way, so you're not at a shot there.
You gotta come in this way.
Oh.
There you go.
Perfect.
But yeah, so we got Lyria talking to Mateo.
Yeah, that's basically the entire chapter.
Which-
It's a conversation between the two of them.
Over tea. I love the idea that they're just sitting here.
That they're just spilling tea.
Yeah.
spilling
Great.
tea
Spilling
over
tea.
tea. Playing the question game of back and forth. I'll ask you one, you ask me one.
Mateo's actually giving up more than I thought he would.
Yeah.
Like, it could be a very one-sided exchange.
Yes.
I
I
think-
think he's clearly the person in power in this situation.
Oh, 100%. It's giving Darrow v. Octavia.
Good comparison. Good
Yeah.
comparison.
But it's definitely a much different dynamic. Obviously.
Yeah.
But it definitely gives me that vibe. It harkens back, one might say.
Yeah.
But Mateo and Lyria, like, they're having such a nice conversation too, like, for the most part. I love Mateo.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mateo's like a unspoiled gem. Unspoiled rose.
Well, also being
get
so spoiled because he's got the richest husband
Yeah,
in
he's-
the galaxy.
He's
but,
essentially the richest man in the world.
but spoiled and unspoiled at the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. But yeah, it's just, you get to learn all about Figment and where that came from, which is a super interesting,
Oh, yeah.
like,
Yeah.
Yeah, I forgot about
the
that.
creator and, made this thing that could control pretty much anything.
Yeah. Talks about, passively will connect to computer systems. It will make you, like, the term that Mateo uses is like near mortal omniscience.
Yeah.
Which, yeah, like,
I mean,
that's...
Didn't say a fig.
true, but it was also damaged.
Oh, I thought it was damaged during that attack.
It's not 100% clear. I don't know. I've kind of just always assumed that Figment didn't have the full functionality either.
Oh, interesting.
But like Lyria obviously has less.
Yeah.
But Figment had a long time to get to
know
used to
what
thing.
functionality she had.
Yeah. So I don't know. It could be. It could have been just damaged in the crash, but
interesting thought. I hadn't thought about maybe it was already damaged.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, and just we had a great conversation. The ability, you know, that Quicksilver could have made himself this god and used it himself and continued to create. And obviously, the engineer behind it ended up killing herself because realized that no human should have that power.
Mm-hmm.
But how it speaks to the fact of Quicksilver could have, you know, taken it. Well, the prototypes are out in the world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if he wanted to buy it, he probably could.
Well, this is the thing is we know that he had a. I don't know if ransom. What's the word I'm looking for?
Bounty.
Thank you.
He had a bounty on Fig.
Bounty on
Fig, yeah.
Fig.
So maybe he was trying to get it.
Maybe.
But you know, then once it's there, it's not. Well, actually, we can't talk about that part.
Yeah.
Next time.
Oh, nuts.
But for the most part, like.
And we get a lot of Lyria's inner turmoil in this chapter.
Yes.
About if she wants to get rid of it, and if that's possible.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, not being willing to sell herself out.
Yeah, what she would need to do to utilize it.
Yeah, is not worth it. The
Yeah.
cost isn't worth what it would gain her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like that's and Mateo says too is like, you know, omniscience should have a cost. Like, you know,
Yeah.
Odin lost his eye. Like that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, Odin sacrificed his eye for wisdom. What will you sacrifice?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, it's really cool just their back and forth. I really like them talking. And I think it's really cool if, like, they are the both low colors.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
But Lyria at this point, at least, is respected by the Golds. Like, I mean, the Republican.
Golds anyway,
yeah. The Republic. And Mateo being a pink that is now, as we say, like, married to the most powerful, richest.
Yeah.
And if money is power, then powerful man in the solar system. And he calls out on this of he is the only person that Quicksilver loves.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Making him one of the most powerful men.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
For sure. He could 100%
he also
have whatever he wants.
He did also build Darrow as much as Mickey did.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, like that, and that's like Darrow says way earlier in the series. He's like,
yeah,
you know, Mickey made the body, but Mateo crafted the man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I have such a soft spot for Mateo.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've loved Mateo ever since Red Rising.
Yeah.
I wish we got more.
Yeah, he's definitely more side than I wish he was.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think that's
kind of it.
Yeah,
like
that's-
it's the introduction of Lyria is great. It throws us in right off the bat because I think we talked last episode of the 2 chapters we end on in that last section are where Severo's making the rescue of Cassius and Darrow after the meat straw, thrown us right into action. Then we get Lysander getting shit kicked out of him, so thrown right into action.
Yeah.
And this kind of carries it through. We have that slight lull of more relationship in the Darrow chapter.
Man, if we can call chapter 11 not
Like a lull?
A lull? How is that?
I know,
Like,
it's not much,
You
but
also
it
learn
is just...
Athena, like, Severo and Cassius are yelling at each other.
Yeah.
Like, you're having a
But in
time.
comparison to, like, the action then of, like,
Oh,
12
yeah.
throws you right back into the, like...
Yeah.
Yeah, right back into the action.
Yeah. Like it's a lull, but it's more just
It's a blip.
it's relationship building.
The
Talking.
next chapter is more into lull.
Yes, the Mateo area is definitely lull of, but again, that relationship building, that backstory, a lot of backstory, a lot of building. I don't think there's any chapter in these books that you could take out and have the book continue to be the same.
Yeah.
And we can't talk about the whole book or the whole series. Well, we could talk about the rest of the series, but I think Pierce is very good about if the chapter is there, it's for a purpose.
Yes, everything's got a purpose.
I agree with that, but there are definitely some storylines that could have been clipped altogether because, in my opinion, they got clipped before the payoff.
Oh, yeah, like Tongueless for sure.
Tongueless.
Well, because that's Hat Death.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and Pax.
Hat
Death. Yep.
Hat Death.
Hat Death?
Do you not know
do you not know about
Death?
the hat? The hat?
We gotta.
So, actually, now Pierce has a new hat, thanks to buttons in the den.
Okay.
Cursive buttons.
It's literally a hat that he will put all of the names in a certain scene in.
So we know in Red Rising is the big one. In that room that we then find out the Jackal is in. Every single person's name except for Darrow and Mustang their names are in the hat.
Are in the hat.
And he has to pick one.
A name.
And that's the person who kills. So Severo could have died in that room.
Yep.
Man, that would be a whole totally different series. But at that point, Severo wasn't as good of a cult following as he has now. Like
for sure.
Yeah.
And the thing to remember is he had storylines for Pax.
Oh yeah, like
right.
He wanted like Pax and Ragnar to be like.
Oh yeah, they'd been fucking like that.
Yeah, like he had.
How dare you throw that on here? The crux? How dare you throw the crux on our podcast?
Yeah, we already had to talk about swearing earlier. Yeah. But yeah, so
it's okay.
But Pax is I would say the biggest hat death, but Tongueless is a hat death.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I think those are the two confirmed ones.
Yeah, he says that there is others. He did not do any in Lightbringer. But he had lost the hat, which said it was the Dux Machina.
Deus Ex Machina.
Yeah. And Buttons gave him one.
That's a really funny hat to use.
Right?
Yeah.
So then Buttons, during the Lightbringer tour, gave him a brand new one that is the identical. And so the hat is back, in theory.
That was the Minneapolis signing, right?
Yes.
I mean, that's a great way to, like, forecast kind of the randomness.
Yeah.
Because
that's his whole thing is war is random.
Yeah, war. Yeah.
Well, the Jackal doing that.
There's definitely plot armor in some of the like Iron Reigns and stuff.
Oh, for sure. Like there has
to be. Otherwise, you won't have a plot.
Well, and that's why even with the Pax death, it's Darrow and Mustang could not be in there because he needed them at the end.
Yeah.
But
I wonder.
Severo at the end.
I wonder if Serafina was.
I was thinking that too.
Oh, maybe.
Just in the desert, just.
Yeah, because her death was the one that I was like, oh.
We built up so much.
Yeah, like, really?
Yeah. But, for this, to my point earlier, every chapter, I feel, has a purpose. There is nothing that you read and you're like, well.
Yeah, there's no fluff.
Yeah.
No fluff to it.
Yeah. So, even this very sweet moment of the two of them drinking tea, going back-to-back questions, every single one of those questions, you get so much backstory, so much information. Like, it's just great.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They do have a little discussion about the joys of democracy a little bit.
They do.
Oh, yeah.
We didn't.
And then
we
there's
commented on that outside, but not here.
There's a continuity error in there.
Go on. Explain it again.
So they talk about how the Reds of the mines chose the immediate payout versus the gross proceeds, and that's actually not what it says in. Ooh, I can't remember if it said in Dark Age or Iron Gold.
Probably
I
Iron Gold.
actually think it's Dark Age because it's a Virginia chapter.
Oh, okay.
Or it's Virginia talking about it, so it could be late Iron Gold. She's talking to Lyria.
Oh, yeah.
So she says that, the Reds chose to have the like a share of the profits of the mine,
Yeah.
rather than just getting paid out immediately. And that's a flip of what this is saying. So one of them is right, and one of them is,
Or it could be Mateo lying a little bit.
or he's just wrong.
Yeah.
But
because really, it's Quicksilver fucked them in the previous version.
yeah, well, exactly. Like that's
our mine doesn't make any profits.
That's exactly what Mustang says. Is like, how would the Reds have known that the mines are operating at a loss?
Yeah.
Like, that's some probably creative bookkeeping, I would say.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, we have the most valuable resource in the solar
system. Yeah, it's
and
like,
it
we
is,
definitely, we definitely don't make any money.
No.
Yeah.
It's like the oil companies.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Amazon operates at a loss.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But yeah, so
No, that's
that's a very good. Like, he makes some very good points about democracy. I don't know any of them, but he makes them.
I feel like this book in general makes a lot of points like, this system's trash, this system's
Yeah,
trash,
well-
everything's trash, fuck it.
I mean, and that is...
Burn it down, rebuild.
You
Yeah.
look at...
It'll suck too, but do it.
Yeah, I mean, you look at political science in general and everything, which Pierce is a poli-sci major, that 100% there is no perfect system, and
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
the whole thing, and they're trying to push for a perfect system. Every angle in this book is pushing for a perfect system,
Yeah.
but it does not exist. It's that idea of, like, communism on paper is perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This idea that, like, oh, we'll just all share the resources, we'll all share the work, it'll all go back into... We know that nobody has been able to actually execute that, and probably never will, because humans, by nature, are...
people take up the power vacuum and become dictators in those
Yeah,
situations.
exactly. Like,
Yeah.
there's so much behind, and that's the thing of, like, democracy, and even, like, a perfect republic, which the United States claims to be a republic, but a perfect republic is actually you vote on literally everything. Like, ancient Greece used to do it. You had to vote, like, what day the stores are going to be open. What day, like, you voted on literally everything as a perfect republic. Well, everyone's going to vote based on what's best for them.
Yeah.
And at what point does, well, us who want the stores open on this day because X, Y, and Z start to become the majority,
Yeah.
and the people that it actually makes more sense that it's open or happen to be the minority, and it's overrun. Like,
Yeah.
and
Like-
that's, I think that's what this is looking at, is capitalism can overrun democracy.
Yep.
There's a few different things that can change things so that democracy is not actually as fair as we all believe it to be.
Yeah. The best system would probably be some sort of, like...
Hybrid of most systems.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was thinking, like, a fully powerful monarch who is fully benevolent, but that is literally impossible.
Yeah.
And will live forever. That's the other key.
That's it, because
Because
the
their
moment
kids
you
will be
start
dicks.
getting... Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Then the Nepo babies come in. And,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck it all up.
And it's all problems.
And then a couple years later, you have King George the 15th.
Yeah. Yeah, so... Yeah, it's an interesting... I mean, the whole series is looking at that, but they have a very interesting conversation about specifically that. And Mateo, I really like, asks Lyria of, like, you're on the side of the Republic, or, like, and her basic thing is, like, well, my nephew is on Mars. Like,
Yeah.
at the root of all of it,
Yeah, that's
I don't think, like, I'm sure she cares for the greater good, but it is her nephew is still the person
Yeah.
that roots her to everything. And if the Republic is currently... And Volga.
Yeah, true.
But if her nephew is currently under their watch, learning, and we assume if he's in school, he's in the schools that Pax would have been raised in, if all the colors are together. Now with him, like, I don't know, we're in whatever century, being blind might not have any difference.
He's not blind
He's
anymore.
not blind anymore.
Oh!
Virginia restored his sight shortly after Iron Gold.
Well, there you go. So then he's perfectly in the schools that Pax were in.
Yeah.
She is going to then be invested on this is the side that will keep him protected, whether or not she agrees with the whole thing. And I'm not saying she doesn't agree with the whole thing, but
she doesn't care nearly as much about the Republic as she does about her family.
Exactly.
Yeah, Liam is her why.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
And that makes sense.
For sure. But yeah.
Think anything else was in this one?
Yeah. No, we've covered those ones pretty well.
And then Virginia.
Yeah.
Virginia.
Our first Virginia chapter.
Yes. And it's I feel like any Virginia chapter is emotional.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's emotionally
she
charged.
She doesn't
for
get
sure.
a light chapter ever.
No.
She gets the
unless she's getting to make jokes about Daxo's balls.
It's that. But we got.
That was a great chapter.
Yep.
She's off to see Pax.
It's
off to see Pax.
With Kavix. I love that Kavix is like. She's like.
This could have been a memo, basically.
yeah.
This could have been an email.
You're only here to see Pax, and he's like
well, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I can't.
What the fuck do you want from me?
Yeah, and then the follow-up of like, oh, and you didn't bring Sophocles out. No. Sophocles is already on the ship. In your seat.
Yeah, he's probably in your chair.
There's gonna be so many sticky jelly bean prints all over
it.
I love. Okay, so Kavix uses jelly beans as an analogy.
It's a jelly bean without sugar.
Yeah, it's like a jelly bean without sugar. Like, oh my god.
Okay, and it's helium-3. It's fundamentally the same isotope. Like, it's not like it's a different isotope of helium. It's the same fucking helium.
I wonder if the rim helium is like potentially less pure when it's mined.
Yeah, maybe before it's processed. Yeah.
They just don't get it.
Yeah.
They just don't do it right.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it be way easier to get the helium from a gas giant too?
Yeah. Listen, Magic School Bus told me that you can get that gas.
Yeah, you just scoop it up with like a big old butterfly net.
They did that in the Magic School Bus. That's where all my science comes from.
Was that
that's why you don't know that the planets move.
Yeah, they're in a line. I said this. In the Magic School Bus, they are in a line. And that's how I think it works.
Yeah, because I don't know the distances between the planets. Is it sometimes faster to get from, like, Mercury to, like,
depends where
Saturn
they are.
Yeah.
Than it is to get from...
Depends where they are. Well, think of how here on Earth... Oh my god, I can't believe I'm the one saying this.
Yeah, I'm just going to let it happen.
Well, it depends on, like, the radius versus circumference, though, right? Like you might be able to get faster here to there, but if, like, the circumference of Jupiter is so much out...
The circumference
it
of the
might
orbit,
always be more
of the orbit,
than even going all the way across the long way.
Yeah, because sometimes think of, like,
something.
We can see Jupiter and Saturn.
Yeah.
Like, we can see them with the naked eye. But, I mean, in theory, Mars is kicking around a lot. But there are certain times where we can see Jupiter and Saturn, but we can't see Mars because Mars has gone to the other side of the sun.
Yeah.
Rather than Jupiter and Saturn are on our side.
But then you would be seeing Mars while the sun is up, so you can't see it because the sun is up.
But also, if the sun is here, if Earth's here, I'm going to do this so the camera says, if Earth's here and Mars is here, right? If my pinky is the sun.
But even
versus then if Saturn and Jupiter are on this side.
Yeah.
And their orbits, like, can...
Yeah, I'm just
They're
saying.
not perfect orbits around each
No,
other.
they're all like oblong weirdies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They will intermix with each other.
I wonder how far they have to go around the sun. Like
to avoid the
to
gravity
avoid the
of the
heat
sun.
and the gravity. Yeah.
It's a great question. It's one that I'm nowhere near qualified to answer.
I'm definitely not.
I'm
Maybe
the closest in the room, and I'm not at all.
maybe Probe would have an idea.
Get on
Probe,
probe.
if you're watching this and you hear this,
What does Probe do?
they're studying for astrophysics.
Ah, yeah,
Yeah.
that seems perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, so... Why are we even... Oh, yeah. The helium in the rim.
Yep.
And the gas giants. Yeah.
And Cavix's jelly bean
reference. Aspen does.
Yeah. Well, as Cavix does, for sure.
As Cavix.
Well,
Absolutely.
and I really like that in this, Virginia specifically says, my old guardian.
Oof.
My old guardian. Because just that little reminder of, like, yep, he had, I don't know if it was technically legal, but, you know, full...
Yeah, he had full guardianship over her,
Yeah.
basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just that I love these touching moments of all of that.
Yeah.
And in this, we
It's
get...
so nice that she has a loving parent.
Yes!
Like,
Yeah.
He's the only one.
And really, it's two loving parents.
Oh, yeah, Niobe
Because
100%.
Niobe, yeah.
And he says that of, like, I know you and Niobe worry about me.
Yeah.
Like, he calls that out, like, that Niobe's over. He's there. And we get in this, him talking about Pax and Daxo. Or, no, he doesn't actually talk, but she says of, like,
Yeah,
we
he
can see the grief. We can see
the hatred in
Yeah.
his eyes when he looks at the stars.
Yeah.
Or looks at the sky.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and...
He's lost both his sons.
Yeah, and I've lost
one.
none.
Yeah.
And I haven't lost one yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they get there.
Yeah. Then we
And-
get this... What is it called? Is it the...
The Dark Star Conservatory.
Yeah.
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 Orion's Institute.
Yeah.
Created
Yeah.
to train multi-colored
Mm-hmm.
spaceship
Yeah.
pilots, which
Yeah.
is pretty dope.
And Pax wants to be there. He has asked
Yeah, he is
to be
asked to
there.
go.
Oh yeah, and he is drank
that-
the Kool-Aid
yeah.
hard.
Yes.
The yeah, I think the taste of flying the torch ship.
Yeah.
He was like, "Oh, well, I'm the
And
best.
I
I'm
don't
the
think
best
I'm
at
the
this."
best at this. Yeah, I was looking for something that I was better at everyone that.
And he got it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And also, like, the grav bike thing, he clearly is into that.
Oh,
well,
yeah.
and we know
Yeah.
of he watches the races.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's in Iron
Yeah.
Gold that he's watching, and you know, it's not Holloway that's the best. It's who does
Call Alexia Z Rex.
he? Yes. Sorry, Holloway, not Holloway. Yeah, that
And
he's
just races.
Yes.
Yeah.
at racing.
Yeah. Flies like a ballerina.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
Rather
he
than-
clearly is very invested his
Yeah.
whole life
Yeah. Whereas
into this.
Callaway's a gunslinger. Rex is a ballerina.
Yeah.
But yeah, so he's there. But yeah, and as you say, has drank the Kool-Aid, which I feel like is any student, like kid who goes off to college and is like, this is my life now. Let me
Yeah.
learn.
Which is
Let me
super
learn the
invested to it,
chants.
yeah.
Let me learn the like.
Yeah.
Yeah, I will get fully.
Me at college, it was like, I'll learn the drinking.
Yeah.
Oh,
Though, to be fair, the college I was in was the drinking.
That's fair.
You graduated from that college. I dropped out, but you graduated from that college. Don't tell me I was wrong about that.
Yeah, I was a bartender all
There you
through
go.
college.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can swear at our rival. I can cheer in like 5 different ways at the rival university.
Wow.
Fuck you. Ottawa U? What the fuck's a GG? What the fuck is a GG? Their mascot is a GG.
Good game. That's the only thing I know. GG.
Yeah. Is there a symbol?
It's a horse.
Oh, I'm very confused.
Some sort of gelding.
It
I don't know.
is the first race horse out of a gate during a race.
Is a GG.
Yeah, so,
So they're saying they're first.
first out of the race, last across the line.
Ah.
I've got them for days because I drank the Carlton Kool-Aid. And there's nothing else to do at Carleton but make fun of Ottawa U.
Ah.
Because the K...
That's why we drink here at our university.
Oh, yeah. Carleton is
Yeah.
where the K stands for quality.
Quality.
Quality. But yeah, he is full invested. He's got the tattoos.
Yeah.
And he got them ahead of schedule, too.
Yeah,
Like, he's fucking crushing it.
Yeah, which means he's well ahead of schedule.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, let's be honest here. The son of the Reaper and Mustang.
So, you mentioned something today that I hadn't thought about, but I really liked the idea of. The Mind's Eye.
Yes. That was not today. We were talking about the Mind's Eye. We were talking about that on Friday night
Friday
while
night.
drunk.
Yeah, we were
We
walking between bars.
And we were talking about the
We're
Mind's
like,
Eye.
I can't remember anything.
And
I
how
wish
we
I
think
had the
that
Mind's
Pax...
I am definitely subscribing to the theory
Pax
that Pax
has
has the Mind's Eye.
which would make him a better pilot.
Yeah,
Well,
for sure.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Latently absorbing and cross-referencing data. And he literally says that in Dark Age, where he latently cross-references.
Yeah, he does say that. That's actually a really good point.
Let me quickly find it.
For anyone who hasn't heard this theory like me, essentially it's that because Virginia had access to Octavia's vaults, there was some information in there that allowed her to pass the Mind's Eye on to Pax.
Yes.
Possibly herself. Maybe less good because she's older and couldn't learn it.
Yeah, we don't know,
but
So yeah, he says, this is after he has basically told Lyria, like, I know what's in your head. He quotes the poem that is said by the parasite to Lyria inside of her head, and she's like, how did you know? And he says, I read everything and cross-reference latently, including files only 10 people have access to. My mother wanted me to be prepared, and I think I know how to help you.
yeah, that's that definitely. I mean, he's obviously super smart.
Yeah.
Regardless, but I think that does kind of imply he might have the Mind's Eye.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's
All right.
a big part of it.
I'm on board.
Then fighting the Obsidians with eyes closed,
Yeah.
like that.
Which is just fucking dope as well.
Yeah, it's a great moment.
That's a great
Yeah.
scene. Like,
But yeah, those couple things definitely lead me down the road of being like, okay, yeah, Pax probably has the Mind's Eye or something similar.
yeah.
Yeah. Makes total sense to me. Which then would be why he's excelling. Yeah, he's got the tattoos. Well, and talk about Lyria is this. We also find out that, we got in her chapters that Pax had kind of given her this idea, whatever, and then we know in this that Mustang has said, yes, I have sent her.
Yeah.
And we're using her, we're following her because we think she's going to Quicksilver.
Yeah.
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 Hence the Truffle Pig.
Yeah, but I also want to touch on, like, very first thing he says to her is basically, you're here about father.
Yeah.
And that,
He
like,
assumes.
Yeah.
that emotion, that, like, emotional stress, weight that he must be carrying of at any moment, like...
He wants her to be there about...
Yeah, of,
Oh,
like,
there,
please
yeah.
tell me one way or another where my dad is.
Yeah.
Yep.
And you get this great thing of her being like, I don't know. And, well, like, what does your gut say or whatever? And he's
Yeah.
like, and she's like, I'm not gonna do that. And he's like, what is it? Your
Yeah.
guesses
Your
are
guesses are more
more-
research than most people's facts.
Yeah. Which is very fair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For real.
Yeah. I
Did
just
she
really
answer?
like that.
I can't remember. I think she says...
I think she gives the impression that Darrow's alive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because like she knows that.
I think she said it's like there's rumors, but it... Oh,
Yeah,
she says... there's
I
rumors
have the
that he's alive,
contact.
but that he's
We
not...
don't trust the contact.
Yeah. So she does say that there's rumors, but that it's not trustworthy data, which is...
Yeah.
Yeah. Which gets into the other theory that the contact is the jackal or the abomination.
The abomination.
Yeah.
I mean, we can call it what we want. Jackal was also kind of a fucking abomination.
Yeah, but he was a created abomination rather than a birthed abomination.
Yeah.
Like,
it's not like you're sullying the good name of Jackal.
yeah, true.
I guess is my point.
True.
Yeah.
But yeah, Jackal was a product of his upbringing, whereas Abomination is definitely a product of his birth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like an abomination by birth.
And his upbringing.
And his upbringing.
Lilith.
Yeah, well,
like,
that's a whole other bag of disgusting worms.
We, during our live stream yesterday, and not to get too into this so that we don't, give it away from the Patreons, but we had to answer questions about the abomination, and we got way too into it on certain aspects. Yeah. And making Lilith jokes of, like to
join the Patreon to check it out if you.
It's a pretty.
If you want to know more.
I'll tell you.
Hey, we're really bad at plugging the Patreon.
We're terrible.
Any time that we come across a moment where it's like reasonable to plug it,
fair,
we're gonna plug it.
You gotta go for it.
Yeah. So we'll take this moment to say $2 American gets you base access to everything.
Yep.
$15 American, not 15,
$5
5.
American.
Thank you, $5 American. You can have a postcard from Crescent, and for $100 a month, I'll send you. No, I'll think about sending you.
You might get one from Skipper.
Probably
Nobody
not.
has signed up for that. We actively discourage it.
I thought it was for $500 a month. You get access to the OnlyFans, where it's just pictures of dogs. But
we haven't even announced the OnlyFans yet.
Shh, we haven't brought up the OnlyFans.
Great, we're gonna have to edit this out.
Someone was it? No, it was Tower.
It was Tower suggesting
us having an OnlyFans of just bottle licks.
Crescent's bottle licks.
No bottle licks in this episode.
Nope. No, just truffle salt licks.
Yeah,
that is true. We did a lot of licking the glasses. The other thing is our Redbubble, Fade to Obsidian on Redbubble. You can have. I'm here for relationships and spaceships or other things.
Yep.
And you've got,
I did a mid.
He's changed.
A mid drink break wardrobe change, and I am rocking another one of the Legion designs by Jess Lost in Books, our wonderful Slink from the Den.
Slink. So there you go. There's our little merch break.
There you go.
And now that we're done talking about the Patreon, and we can go back to the abomination.
Do we think that is the contact?
I am absolutely in the camp that thinks it is.
I don't know who else it would be.
Yeah, I can't imagine somebody else that would have data that good.
Unless it's the Minotaur.
The Minotaur's on Venus. How would he know? He's never been on Luna.
Yeah, that's fair.
Since the beginning of the trilogy or the series.
I just think he's the person I could see flipping sides.
Oh,
or playing both sides.
Yeah. Well, I mean, see, that's the thing is, Luna is blockaded by Atalantia. It's blockaded by the Society forces. So I feel like Abomination is probably trying to give some sort of information away that might get him some help.
Yeah. He wants to
from outside
screw over Atlantia at this point because
yeah,
he wants to win. He doesn't want to be a sideshow.
Yeah. Well, exactly.
Yeah.
But it's kind of all but explicit that that's who Virginia's contact is. She talks about how I didn't want Kavix to find out kind of at all. It would break him to find out who my contact is. Right.
So it's pretty likely that's who it is.
Yeah, well he's and she talks about how both Kavix or both Pax and Daxo have been killed basically in the same thought thinking about the contact.
Yeah.
And
yeah, that's a good point.
The Jackal killed both of them.
Yeah. Which then also gets into why is Severo free?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if the Abomination is cutting deals with her, that's probably the first person she's going to ask for
Yeah.
back.
So
100%.
we just talked about it today, but we kind of skimmed past it. Severo.
Yes, so
So-
going
Yeah.
back to
To
the
the-
Darrow episode, or chapter.
Yeah, so either Severo was released as a deal with Mustang, or why the hell was he released at all? Like, either he was a deal with Mustang, whatever happened there,
Yeah.
or he is programmed to try and make his way back home and murder his family. Like,
Okay,
the
but
Jackal
I don't
said he
deal
would.
with Red God theories, so I hate this, like, theorizing. And we don't know what happens in the rest of this book.
We don't.
So I'm saying it's a deal with Jack.
Yeah.
Or
I'm of the
Abomination.
opinion that Mustang made a deal.
I think it's both.
Well, we'll talk
We
to you
will
during Red God.
Yeah, we'll find out in time.
Yeah. But for back to Mustang, I don't know if there's anything else.
Yeah, that's
It was a pretty short chapter, in my mind. Like, not a ton happened.
like there's a lot emotionally,
Yeah.
but like there's not a lot that actually happens.
Yeah. It's very emotionally charged.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Then we have to talk about Lysander.
Can we make another drink before we talk Lysander?
Yeah. Let's do that. All right. The dogs have abandoned us. We got stronger drinks.
Much stronger drinks.
Let's
Much stronger drinks.
get into Lysander.
Unfortunate.
Okay, just like the guy, his chapters are pretty good.
I
They
do
give
like
you-
the politics of his chapters.
They give you a whole new perspective on
100%.
the
Oh,
universe
100%.
Pierce has created.
100%.
Yes. 100%.
That being said, sometimes he's a whiny little bitch who I want to punch. But I still like Lysander in general.
Yes. Can confirm. Yeah, so we start in, I mean, he's just got his ass kicked and handed to him. He's recovering from that.
Yeah.
And recovering from having his face turned
I was
into
about to say.
not scars.
Yeah.
Atalantia wanted him to have a proper scar.
Mm.
Which does, okay, so there's a line in this, and I kind of wish I didn't know, but now we know. I had asked last episode if we knew they continued to share a bed, and it explicitly says in this chapter that as much as he absolutely hates it,
Yeah.
they continue to sleep together whenever they're in the same place.
Yeah.
Yep. Yuck.
And like, yeah, he says he
Yeah.
Watch out.
hates. Hello, Bentley. He hates her almost as much as he hates himself.
Yeah,
Which
buddy.
is- Yeah, okay, he killed Alexander. You shouldn't be happy about that.
He's a bad dude, Charon. He's a bad dude.
He's got some bad traits.
Yeah. I gotta turn off this or else I'm gonna continue to stare
Definitely.
at myself.
Lesser of multiple evils on the society side.
True.
Yes.
True.
Yeah, we had
True.
that discussion out there of, you are rooting for him in this chapter
Yep.
Yeah.
over anybody. I mean, I think you're kind of rooting for Glarastes more than anybody else.
Well, yeah, true.
I actually very much dislike Clarastes.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think he's a smarmy little fuckwad, actually. I don't know why. I
mean,
don't
he kind
like
of,
him.
He kind of is.
Yeah,
But like,
he just seems so wildly easy to manipulate. He's on like 4 different sides in the same book.
oh my
Yeah.
god, is he the dean? In the conspiracy theory episode?
Oh my god.
If you guys haven't watched it, Community Season 2, Episode 9.
I'll never get old. That'll never get old.
Yeah. You just kept going along with anything anyone told you. I need to
Just
put
watch
this
it.
down
Thank you,
before
Mary.
Yeah.
that contains 70% rum.
It's very, very good.
It's very good.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's a lot in this. I mean, it's a 45-minute in the audiobook
Yeah, so
chapter. So it's
it takes us from him getting there
Yep.
Yeah. Through a conversation with Ajax.
With Fear there.
Yep. Oh yeah, we get to see Fear
The
and
father-son
Storm.
dynamic.
Isn't Atalanta's first?
I thought she was after.
Yeah, no.
And then Ajax comes back.
It's Ajax
Right,
and
right,
Fear,
right.
and then Atalantia,
You're right.
And then just Ajax.
and then just Ajax.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow,
But like,
you're almost done that.
it's so good. Okay, this is also why I'm a lightweight. I do not sip drinks.
There.
Yeah, so we get to see Ajax and Atlas interact for the first time, and it is as unbelievably awkward as you would expect.
Man, I feel so bad for Ajax. Like, he has pretty much no parental fingers, and it doesn't seem like...
the one parental figure is
Fucking
him.
Is parentally fingering him.
Oh, God.
I'm so sorry.
I hate you.
I hear that like once a time we hang out.
Yeah, it's very not true ever, but...
Moving on from that, yes, you are right. He has no good parental figures. Figures. Figures.
Oh God.
Like, and it doesn't seem like even when she was alive that Aja was a good... Like, she trained him and, like, saw him occasionally, but it doesn't seem like she was a very loving mother.
No.
Yeah.
Or, like, a kind figure even in his life, really. It was like, you're not as good as me, train harder kind of a relationship.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, like, that's the thing, too, is, like, we don't ever actually see Aja and Ajax
But
interact.
Yeah.
Like, not even in a flashback.
No. But also, like, he technically was an experiment, if you think about it. Like, it's Octavia
He
wanted
was a
to
genetic
see
experiment.
what would happen if you combine the rim and the core.
Yeah. Grimace and Ra.
Yeah, it was the unholy genetic union, or the loveless genetic union of two apex bloodlines.
Yeah.
So, like, it kind of makes sense. If that's gonna fuck you up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And you're going to be seeking love.
Yeah, there's no
Wherever you
therapy
can get
in
it.
space.
Yep.
So you're gonna go to your aunt. And biological aunt. It's not even like Lysander, who it's like, oh, it's an aunt figure.
Yeah.
That is your biological aunt.
Yeah.
Yeah. And, nope, hat point, lost it. Classic Crescent.
Is Atlantia not related somehow to Lysander?
No.
No.
No? Okay. I wasn't
It is
sure
just that she's just... she's friends with his mom and
right, they were best
Octavia's
friends.
kept them in the court.
That's what I was going to say, is at one point, Octavia says to Aja, "You've already spoiled your churlish spawn." So maybe Aja was like a little bit more doting.
Yeah, that's actually really good.
Interesting.
And I mean, in Lysander's flashbacks, we do see a little bit of like maternal Aja.
That is true. Aja is kind of the best of all of them to Lysander.
Oh, for sure. And I mean, we never see Moira interact with anybody other than Darrow's pulse fist. So.
Wow.
Oh, no. I can't say it. She gives Pliny up. She holds the Death Knight back.
I always get about
Darrow.
Moira.
But
you're right, because there's the flashback of Lysander going, is it to the opera? Somewhere, and Mustang's like, oh, I'm coming with you, and he's going with Aja.
to go look at Falcons, I think it was.
Yes. So we know that at least Aja was doting on Lysander, you would assume.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you'd think it would be a little bit, like a little equal, maybe.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Closer.
Yeah. But still, like, he's fucked up. But it
Oh God, yeah.
called
Pretty
out
much
so many
every
times.
poor gold baby is fucked up.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Unless they're a Telemanus.
Yes, and then they get fucked up.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
I don't like that.
Protect Thrax at all costs.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Bentley, I'm yelling.
But yeah, they were the only ones who. But like, even like, it says in like in Red Rising, that Pax was raised to lead Obsidian boarding parties. Like he wasn't exactly. Like he had a purpose. That's what he's been bred for.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah, and then they talk about Titus being the one to, like, maybe he wouldn't make a good imperator, but a legate.
Mm.
That's what I was thinking. Like, I was cross-referencing two different things.
But yeah, no, they had loving parents, and that seems like it's a fucking rarity among golds.
And apparently also a death sentence.
Yeah.
Well, that's because even technically, I think we get a little insight
Tiberius Albolona was
yes,
kind of loving.
like Cassius talks about his dad in a
Very
fantastic way, but then all of the Bologna are gone except for Cassius
and
Julia, but married in.
Yeah. Because Darrow
Assuming,
sided with the fucking evilest family instead of the one that seems somewhat decent.
Mm-hmm.
Except for Cardus.
Well, he had to do what he had to do. But, yeah, like this interaction of, and Pierce calls it out so many times of, it's the coldest introduction between a father and son. And at some point, there's one and he thinks that Ajax wants to say father or whatever, and then instead, no. Because they're just calling each other their Olympic titles.
Storm and Fear.
Storm and Fear.
Which, like, yeah, that's just fucking cold. Like, doesn't he slam him at some point in the chapter as well?
I'm sure.
Fear insults Ajax pretty hard, if I'm remembering correctly.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's something about it's something about a battle. But
yeah, their relationship seems fucking atrocious.
I just don't know if Atlas knows how to be a human. Like, he sold out his best friend, even if it's Atlantia who did the killing.
Yeah.
Atlas was in on, like...
So, Atlas says, your mother was a good soldier, but we had little in common, except that Atalantia liked our genes. You obviously cared for your mother, so much that you willingly linger in her shadow. So why aren't you hunting Darrow? Oof. And Lysander says, I almost stepped back from the impending explosion of violence. If any other man had said that to Ajax, Ajax would cut him in half, then beg the man's family to try and avenge him, then cut them in half too. Like...
yeah, that's...
Yeah.
Which goes on a little later in the chapter, after he's killed 53 men or whatever.
Yeah, I killed 31 men today.
I need a drink.
I guess
my favorite is he tried for.
Yeah, he was doing Sober September.
Yeah,
just as well as I did Sober September.
How many people did you kill to get away with it?
We don't talk about my husband. You're not in the den, you won't know that joke, and if you are in the den, I didn't kill my husband.
Never seen Pop Top and you in the same room.
Pop Top was never my husband. He was my ex-P boyfriend. Careful, others.
Fucking candy.
Oh my god, you downed
Good
it.
job.
Yeah. Very interesting, their relationship. And we get an insight on just Atlas in general. Again, being like... I would love to know what went through Lysander's parents' minds that those are the best friends.
Shrapnel.
Oh my god.
I've had a lot of those this episode.
What went through their minds to make those people their best friends? That they would sell them out. They're just shitty human beings to their son who's the same age. Like, what did you... Because we get this at least like in the very few flashbacks and retellings, that they were slightly good people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, yeah,
they
like
were reformers in general.
yeah,
They wanted the society to be somewhat more fair and equitable.
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Probably not fair and equitable, but
more.
But more. But then they've sided with all these people, and I mean, some of them were probably just you are the closest, like it's those family friends that
Yeah.
you like grew up with, and you're like, oh, I'll just put up with this person because my parents have made me put up with this person. But you would think, like at some, I mean, and maybe that's it. Is Lysander doesn't necessarily know the actual relationship,
yeah.
and just says, "Well, this is who I'm told is my parents' best friend."
Right.
Maybe the parents are sitting there
Yeah,
going,
maybe it's
"Yeah,
a
I'd
fucking
fucking
lie.
put up with you."
Yeah, I would fucking stab him through the right eye if I got the
Yeah,
chance.
because if they had the actual choice of like, this is who I'm hanging out with, I question a lot of things.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Although it sounds like Atlas was a way more chill dude before Octavia sent him to the rim.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's maybe it. That they know younger Atlas versus,
Yeah.
but like
Bentley.
Atlantia,
Atlantia was apparently awful always.
always.
Yeah, like Trig and Holiday getting sent to liquidate a liquidate a pink, or like a brothel basically, where Atalantia had gone to practice her
Her seduction techniques.
God, what the fuck's it called? I can't.
He's
Yes.
forgotten something.
Oh, it's
Edit this in.
Oh, these are my favorite moments. On the stream yesterday, Gambit
erotophonophilia, is it? Just hang
Gambit
on.
tried to call him out on something very specific.
That was like wildly specific.
It was what does Electra call down the hallway?
What is Electra called down the hallway?
Well, when she goes and she looks for like a brief second, then comes back and it's like, here's all the like weapons they have.
Did you remember it?
He did not.
That is wildly specific.
Wildly specific. This is what you can get if you join the Patreon. You
Yeah.
get to ask Crescent what questions he cannot remember in that moment.
Oh, God damn it!
It's fun to watch him flounder.
Uh-huh.
And for only $2 a month.
Yes, $2 a month. US. Sorry, Canadians. It's
It
like
is.
$2.50.
Oh my God! It is erotophonophilia. I fucking wanted to say it like 4 times.
Erotophonophilia?
Erotophonophilia. Her deriving sexual pleasure from murder.
Oh.
What?
Yeah.
That's what it means?
Yeah, not that I can imagine anything worse than deriving sexual pleasure from executions. So that's what was going. That's what was going on at the Rose Garden that Trig and Holiday went to liquidate
because Atlantia
just
came and killed.
Yep. Correct.
It's fucked.
So, yeah.
All right. So
I can't remember what the other leading in portion was, but I don't know. Derive your own meanings from that.
yeah.
She's bad.
She's bad.
Okay, so we're getting to the part of the chapter where it's Atlantia talking to...
First of all, Lysander watches her hunt for Chitanas, which
Yes.
I don't know what.
I assume...
Cheetah and...
A lion? Chitana?
I don't know. You're the creature expert.
I am a creature expert. My favorite thing is, though, it says that she normally hunts in the Rockies. So, call out to...
Yeah, call it to Western Canada.
Yeah.
No, it's probably a call out to the Western United States, because they have them as well, but...
Don't be ridiculous.
I know. We own all of the...
Yeah, the Rockies are Canadian from north to south. It's a very Canada-centric worldview, but most people don't get that, so... I
It
feel
is
like
not
it's fine.
something Googleable.
That doesn't surprise me.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna
It's a
guess
carved creature.
Yeah, a carved creature.
cheetah, lion, yeah,
Something
mix.
like
Cheetah and hyena mix.
Ooh, that would
Ooh.
be a good one.
Like in
Africa.
Africa. Yeah.
Yep.
That's my guess is
Yeah.
cheetah hyena.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, so normally she hunts in the Rockies. Now she's doing it in Africa. We know that she's now using earthlings for her armies and things.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Um,
You say they're hunting in their ancestral homeland at some point too, right?
Mm.
Do they mean Africa? Because I mean, the Jen's Grimace is
I would, yeah.
black.
It's black canonically, yeah.
Yep.
Or do they just mean Earth? Because also,
Yeah. Probably both.
Yeah, I mean 100% they mean Earth
Yeah.
at the very minimum. But I would
that's what I took it to mean.
guess
Africa.
I would guess that Africa is actually
Yeah.
an ancestral homeland for them. He is a noodle.
We fucking love Bentley. If you're not watching on
Mm-hmm.
YouTube, come just for Bentley.
Yeah.
And
watch hours. Come for watch hours too.
we like our watch hours. But yeah, I'll like and subscribe. What else? So
hit the notification bell.
this is also
I'm
so
sad at
Atlas.
This is like the one time we ever say it.
I know we've never. I don't think
Terrible
anybody's
at it.
told anyone ever to subscribe.
I mean,
really
but
does
like
help
if you're
the channel.
watching, please subscribe. 'Cause
Please
it helps.
subscribe.
We're not begging, but we're begging.
We're begging. But the other thing, this is the part where it's hold the bowl.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And
Atlas turns to Lysander and says, "Here, you can hold Tharsis."
And his head
And
is in the gold bowl.
It's very popular with flies.
Oh.
That's
What's Tharsis do
horrible.
again?
I think he's just related to the Minotaur.
Yeah, literally. It's just his last name and then
Yeah.
ended up fed to the Manticore.
Yeah.
So yeah, they've got the bowl is there. And
Yeah.
then it's ugh.
And then we Atlas hands off the bull to some of the attendants of Atalantia.
Yeah.
For the dog. Or for the dogs. And we find out later in the chapter that the dog is actually just naked
Oh my god,
Glarastes
I
on the
never
leash.
made that connection.
Oh.
I didn't
Yeah.
I didn't make that connection.
I didn't make
either.
that connection.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
So naked Glarastes on a leash.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the other, like
Yeah.
that's fucked.
That's fucked. So she's trying to threaten him into falling in line.
Yeah, by telling him that she's going to kill Glarastes if he...
He
Who a
becomes
couple
a pair of
chapters
boots.
before has said is more a parental, has acted more like a parental figure than anyone else in my life.
Mm-hmm.
That he can remember because, Pandemonium Charon.
Yeah. Brain diddling.
Yeah.
Howlerpod.
Thanks, Howlerpod.
Brain
Their
diddling
That's
followed
what
by parental fingering.
Okay, Howlerpod gets credit for brain diddling. We get credit for parental fingering.
I don't want credit for that. I don't want credit for that.
I really hope that nobody watches subtitles on our videos so that gets entered into the
algorithm.
Oh my god, I'm so sorry.
Wow.
Anyway.
Okay. Yeah, so Glarastes comes out. Well, Atlas is got him on the leash.
Yeah, Atlas goes to fetch the dog.
Yeah.
And comes back with Glarastes on his leash. And all of Glarastes' bluster and persona is just gone.
Yeah.
He is
He's
literal
just-
shell of a man.
Yeah, he just...
He's been tortured probably for
I have to
a
imagine.
3-week trip or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I can't imagine that Atlas was
Kind?
kind.
No.
Like,
I can't imagine. and then Lysander getting told to promise Glarastes that he would protect him. And then
It's a hard move.
yeah.
Like,
well, I mean,
Lance
like
just-
of course, you first of all, like what the fuck else are you gonna say? Like, no, like,
yeah.
but also like Lysander's kind of disgusted by like Glarastes
Hugging him.
like
Yeah, like,
just throwing himself at him
yeah,
and clinging to him.
yeah.
Which, for someone he claimed he thought of like a parental figure, like a couple chapters ago.
Yeah.
This is fucking savage.
Yeah, well,
Like-
it's sociopathic at the very
It is,
least.
yeah.
It's-
Like,
Yeah.
like if someone you think that you care that much about is in that position, you're not thinking gross. You're thinking, fuck Atlante's a bitch.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Asshole.
Ugh. Yeah, and then
sorry.
well, I was gonna say then we know at this point Ajax has told him to just kneel to her.
Oh yeah.
And it
take the hit
Yeah.
and then kneel.
Yeah.
But not too fast, or she'll think less of you.
Yeah, and this is where he's got to lie through his teeth on why he's been doing what he has.
Yeah.
Will
Yeah.
she take the bait? Not
Oh,
the
yeah.
bait, but will
This-
she
the-
accept the lies?
The fastest he's ever fallen into the mind's eye. He feels only what he wants to feel.
Is the torrent.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah. Ugh.
Fear
just
is
gross
indeed the
all
mind
around.
killer.
And I think we see at this point, like, we look, when we get the Darrow perspective, it's the golds, well, especially in Lightbringer, from Virginia, it's the golds it's who we want to see as a gold. There are these people that can do better. If you look at the Telemanus, Virginia, Victra, for the most part.
Yeah. Aside from, slavery.
Yeah, we love
Coffee
Victra.
just tastes better when it was picked by slaves, right?
That's a great line.
That's a Victra quote
like
for
it's
sure.
it's awful.
It's
Awful.
terrible,
Yeah.
but yeah. So we get that, and then the juxtaposition of having this now
Yeah.
Yeah.
of these just absolutely horrific people, and especially so last chapter we got the loving mother, the loving grandfather.
Yeah, the son trying to make his parents proud.
Yes, and now we have just these absolutely father and son do not get along in any capacity,
Like,
and horrific. Technically, the betrothed, like, so they're not even marrying or whatever for love at this point. It is just completely for political reasons.
She needs a velvet glove.
Yeah.
yeah, the velvet glove for her iron fist
Yeah.
is...
Yeah, like, it's just very, like, those two chapters back to back of the gold versus the gold, like, just, ugh.
Yeah.
And then we get Ajax shows up.
Yep.
It also shows how gold society's not even good to gold.
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah,
Like-
no.
Like, it's not a working fucking system.
No, you have to be top gold.
Yep.
Like, the golds within themselves
Even
have a
those
hierarchy.
ones are fucking, like, not having a good time.
That's, yeah. Only Anna Lanty is having a good time.
Yeah, she's getting off constantly. So much murder.
Yeah, no kidding.
This is
Good
the
God.
best situation for her.
Yeah. Yeah, and then we get Ajax comes back. Best is Lysander pretends to be asleep.
Yeah.
And Ajax is
Yeah,
like,
tell Ajax I'm sleeping.
no.
Yeah. Just hear him laughing from rooms away.
Yeah. He shows up.
I know you bowed. How do you know?
You have my...
You have my chef.
Yeah.
That's why you ordered extra food.
Yeah.
Tell the chef to make more food.
Yeah, she gave you my chef.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, it's just... And then, you get them of almost like a brotherly moment, but then it's
Yeah,
that,
well, and,
like,
Yeah.
like Ajax.
you should be raised as cousins. You were closer, in theory, growing up than, let's say, Lysander and Alexander were.
Seemed like they were like raised as siblings almost.
Almost. But then you're sharing the same lover.
sharing an aunt.
Well, I don't think they're sharing.
Yeah.
I think Ajax got shunted because he
Yeah.
lost his valor or whatever to Darrow, or lost his.
When he ran away at
Yeah.
Heliopolis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got his ass whooped.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and like Ajax even says to Lysander at this point, you know, it may not mean much, but like I don't want to see you die.
Mm-hmm.
After like literally
Trying to kill
sending
him.
a hit squad.
Yeah.
That's a hollow sentiment for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. I kind of believe it though at this point.
Oh, for sure.
Like
yeah.
Like he was trying to kill Lysander when he thought Lysander was trying to steal what was his.
Mm-hmm.
But now he seems to have figured out that what he had was awful.
Yeah.
And now he's sad that Lysander is in the same position.
Damn, is Ajax going to therapy?
No, there's no
No.
therapy.
He's
been on Earth for a while.
He's
though.
been on
yeah.
Earth. There might
They're on
be
Earth
therapy
right now.
on Earth. Does he have the path of the veil? Is that what's happening?
Oh shit, there is therapy in space.
Yep. Obviously haven't been watching our Lightbringer
Yes,
episodes
someone's
yet.
behind.
No, I'm way behind. I'm in Dark Age.
Yeah.
We literally talk about how the path of the veil is therapy in space.
Mm.
But, yeah. That's kind of it for...
Yeah. Lysander basically gets told, you know, go along with
Yes.
Atalantia's plan at the summit.
Yeah.
Otherwise, yeah, Glaraces gets made into leather boots.
Mm-hmm.
The
These
fur,
boots
with
were
the
made
fur.
from oranges.
Wow.
It's the song. If you're gonna say boots, you gotta
You got
sing the song.
Do we think Glaraces has fur?
his hair is
He's
going to
got
be left
hair.
on the boots.
Orange tufted boots.
Yeah.
With the fur.
And we don't really get an answer
No.
Nope.
on what's going to happen.
Yeah, probably because the Patreon
Hey!
decided that we were going to go in
This is where we're
5
cutting off.
chapter chunks rather than having everything
For the
split up
record, this is an
perfectly.
awful one to stop at.
Yep.
I'm sad.
Yeah. Charon really wanted to talk about chapter 16, but y'all didn't let him.
Yeah.
No.
That's okay.
I'll try.
That's okay. We still love you.
You're
love
still
you.
the best, but also next time.
Yeah,
join
next
our...
book we're doing it our own way.
No, we're not. We're
No,
still
we're gonna
going to
do it
give
your
them, and
way.
we're going to see if you learned from this experience.
Have you learned as you ought?
It is the Patreon that told us 5 chapters at a time, not getting off of that until we get into the end of the book, because there's only
89. It's not even 5.
But the next
They-
episode will pick up in a pretty fun point still on Lysander on
true.
the second half of the
Yes.
Yep.
So you got to tune in then.
Yeah, I think the secret is the Patreon doesn't want to see us that much. They're like, I don't want...
That was it,
23
because it was
episodes.
23
I only
episodes
want
versus...
18 episodes.
Yeah.
Earth.
Who's on with this next week?
Yeah, that's what they were thinking. I want to pay for less content.
Who's on with us? This is the question. Salem.
Oh, shit.
Ooh.
Salem.
Salem. Come out and play.
It will be November 1st, so we will do...
All Saints Day.
It's going to be
Oh,
a
wait.
spooky episode.
No, we're recording on... Oh, it's releasing on the 1st.
Yeah, it's
We're recording on the 27th.
We are going to make it a spooky episode, because we
Yeah.
got Salem.
The spookiest.
Which I think might be, spoiled just a little bit, meaning that Virginia is coming out to play.
There is a good chance. It's at least plausible.
It's the only time we get
Get Salem on board.
Salem is if we
Yeah.
get Mustang.
End of book or
She always get the
Virginia
end of the books,
heavily.
or we want a Virginia.
Yeah.
But that is, I think, it.
Yeah.
I think
That is the end of our
covers everything.
chapters.
So, thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having
Yeah,
me.
thanks for coming. Thanks for being the one to supply us drinks.
Yes!
Yes.
For the most part.
Well, I hear I'm invited back for...
You will be back
Yeah.
for in the 70s. We will not say
Yes.
what's happening, but
We will
you'll
not
be
say
back
chapters,
in the 70s.
but-
It's in the
80s. In the
80s.
80s.
So I will see you all
In February.
February. Because there's a schedule.
There is
true.
an intense schedule. We have, I think, one opening also in February. Or did we fill it?
I thought we filled that.
I think we filled it.
Oh
Bond-
no, we had two, and then
And
Bond,
Bond
took
took
it.
one.
I think we have one left.
So there is one.
Maybe.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
No problem.
Thank you for joining for our literal hangout. We were saying earlier that our podcast is just like us
Super
hanging
casual.
out, and this feels the most.
Yeah, this
Casual.
is by far the coziest podcast
The
episode
dog
we've had.
on my lap is snoring. I don't know if you
He-
can hear it.
does
He
that.
will be there for the next 12 hours if we let him. So.
Well, somebody get me another drink.
Okay. Well,
All right.
thank you everybody
Thank
for
you.
joining us.
Have a good one.